I said no when my neighbor asked to store her business inventory in my garage. The next day, my driveway was raided by police. They found stolen goods and a ledger with my name. I screamed. "This isn't mine!" She whispered. "It is now." But when I showed my lawyer the ledger, he noticed a hidden symbol that traced back to. I'm a 46-year-old guy living in Tacoma, Washington. Divorced, no kids. I work maintenance for the local school district. It's not glamorous, but it's steady. I keep to myself, pay my bills, and don't bother anyone. That was my life until the woman across the street showed up. Her name was Marissa, at least that's what she said. She moved into the rental house in front of mine about 6 months ago. Mid-30s, bleached blonde hair, always dressed like she was heading to a photo shoot. She told the neighborhood she ran some kind of luxury resale business. I didn't care. I don't make small talk unless I have to. But she made herself hard to ignore. Always outside. Always waving. Always loud on her phone talking about shipping buyers and premium drop lists. I figured she was just one of those Instagram hustlers trying to play entrepreneur. I didn't care either way. Until she knocked on my door one Saturday morning. "Hey, Alan," she said with that forced cheer. "So super weird ask, but my cousin backed out of letting me use their garage for a shipment I have coming in. It's just temporary, 2 weeks max. Just a few boxes. I'll even pay you." I stared at her. I didn't even know her last name. I told her no. No offense, I just don't want to store other people's stuff. Too much liability. Too much risk. She blinked. That smile of hers twitched for just a second. "Okay," she said slowly. "No problem. Just thought I'd ask." She turned and walked off, but something about the way she said it felt off. I went back inside. Didn't think much of it. The next morning changed my life. It started with loud knocking. I thought maybe something happened at work. I looked out my window and saw flashing lights. Police cars. Officers outside. My heart dropped. "Mr. McCarthy," one of them shouted. "We have a warrant to search your property." I barely had time to get my shoes on. They told me to step outside while they entered my garage. I stood there in my front yard, confused, half awake, neighbors staring from porches. Then I heard them call for backup. They started pulling out boxes. Brown tape bins. They lined them up in my driveway. One by one they opened them. Designer bags. Watches. Jewelry. Sneakers still in boxes with price tags. Tens of thousands of dollars worth of stuff. It looked like a boutique exploded in my garage. "This isn't mine!" I yelled. But one of the officers held up a black ledger. Old school. Handwritten. He flipped through it slowly, looked up at me with cold eyes. "You're listed as the distributor," he said. My name was inside. Over and over. My phone number. My address. Notes about pickups, drops, buyer names, prices. And then I saw her. Marissa. She was standing across the street in a hoodie, arms crossed, coffee in hand like it was just another morning. She didn't even look surprised. I shouted across the street. "What the hell is this?" She walked over like it was nothing. Got real close. Whispered, "It is now." I couldn't speak. I just stared at her as the officers slapped cuffs on me. They held me for 26 hours. I couldn't afford a private lawyer, so I called Greg, my union guy. Older dude, no nonsense. He picked me up the next day and took me straight to his office. I told him everything. From the favor she asked me for to the boxes they found. He went through the ledger, slow and careful. Page by page. "This is detailed," he said. "Almost too detailed." "What does that mean?" "Usually when people run illegal inventory, they don't keep neat ledgers like this, unless they've done it before. And they definitely don't list the middleman unless they want to frame someone." That's when he saw something. He leaned in, squinting at a corner of the page. "Turn the lights off," he said. I did. He pulled out a small UV flashlight and hovered it over the paper. There it was. A faint triangle with 3 letters inside, MKB. What is that? I asked. That's a marker. A signature. It's something fences use to tag paperwork. You only see it under UV. It's a call-in card. He looked at me. She's done this before. Greg started digging. He found a case from Oregon, 2019. A man was arrested for fencing stolen electronics out of his garage. He claimed he was framed, but couldn't prove it. The ledger from that case also had a faint symbol on it, same triangle. Same letters. MKB. Marissa wasn't real. Her real name was Kyla Brenner. Fake names. Fake business. Fake smile. I didn't know how far it went, but I knew one thing: she set me up. And she'd probably done it before. That was enough for Greg to request a delay in my case. The DA agreed to hold off on charges pending further review. But that wasn't enough for me. I wanted her destroyed. I started small. Every Tuesday, she rolled out 3 trash bins. I started checking them. Gloves on, digging through everything. Most of it was junk. Then I found a thick envelope, shipping logs. All handwritten, but with weird codes. Greg thought they matched transaction codes in the ledger. More evidence. Then gold. Printed screenshots. Messages between her and someone named Dano_X. The messages were encrypted, but the screenshots were clear. The chat was about transferring inventory to AM's garage. That was me. They even listed a Thursday move-in date. It was a smoking gun. Greg filed a motion. The court reviewed the new evidence. My charges were dismissed. But I didn't stop. I started a Reddit thread. Posted every document, every receipt, every screenshot. Tagged it with garage frame up, her full name and city. The post went viral. Someone from Portland DM'd me. Said she tried to pull a similar move there, claimed her storage unit flooded, and asked to use his basement. He refused. A month later, his shed was torched and cops found stolen lawn equipment inside. He was cleared, but he always suspected her. Then someone from Arizona messaged. Same story. She had a pattern. And now a trail. I mailed all the evidence to her parents, her old college, and even her leasing office. Printed it all. No return address. Just the facts. Within 3 weeks, she was gone. Vanished. No moving truck. No goodbye. She left behind her car. Her cats. Even packages sitting on her porch. She just disappeared. And the FBI? They took over a month later. But I wasn't finished yet. I thought it was over when she vanished. I was wrong. 2 weeks after Kyla disappeared, I got a letter in the mail. No return address. Just my name typed on the front, all caps. I opened it in my kitchen, expecting junk or maybe a lawyer threat. Inside was a single sheet of paper. Plain white. Typed message. You think it's over. But I'm not done with you. No signature. No date. But I knew it was her. Same tone. Same smug threat. I brought it straight to Greg. He took a look at it and nodded. It's intimidation. Classic move when someone knows they're being hunted. They want you to panic and mess up. I wasn't scared. I was pissed. Greg told me to sit tight. But I didn't. I dug deeper. I remembered something, a guy named Mason who came by her house once a week before all this. Big guy, shaved head, always driving a black Suburban with out-of-state plates. He looked military. I used to think he was her boyfriend. Now I wasn't so sure. I looked up the plates. Paid for a reverse plate check online. They came back registered to a small private shipping company in Idaho. I called pretending to be a delivery guy who lost a package. Told them I was looking for Mason. The woman on the line froze when I said the name. Then she hung up. That same night, someone broke into my backyard. They didn't steal anything. But they left something behind. A box. Wrapped in brown paper. I opened it with gloves. Inside was a single high-heel shoe. A woman's size 7. Same brand I'd seen in one of the photos from the raid. It was a message. I called the cops. They took a report, but they couldn't do much. No fingerprints. No video. I didn't have cameras up yet. That changed the next day. I installed 4 motion-triggered cameras: garage, backyard, front door, and side gate. I wasn't taking chances. A week passed. Then another. Nothing. I thought maybe it was finally done. Until one night, around 2:30 a.m., the backyard camera triggered. Someone in a hoodie crept along my back fence, stopped near the garage, and stood there for 5 minutes. Not moving. Just watching. I called the police again. They sent a car. No one found. Greg had warned me, people like Kyla don't just vanish. They survive by hiding, rebranding, and latching on to new victims. And when someone exposes them, they lash out. I started carrying. Everywhere. At work. At home. Even inside. Then, something happened that pushed things to a whole new level. I got a call from my cousin in Spokane. He told me someone called his job asking questions about me. Said they were with the Department of Transportation and needed to verify employment history for a background check. Only thing is, I've never worked with the DOT. And I never listed my cousin as a reference. The woman on the phone didn't give a name. But she asked one strange question. Has he ever been involved in selling property that wasn't his? That set him off. He told her to shove it and hung up. She never called back. But now I knew, she wasn't just trying to scare me. She was trying to bury me. Again. I went back to Reddit. I updated the post. Added every new detail: threat letter, shoe, backyard camera image, phone call to my cousin. I blurred names and faces, but I made the pattern clear. That's when something unexpected happened. A woman messaged me anonymously. Claimed she used to date Kyla in Nevada 5 years ago. She said Kyla was running scams then too, dating wealthy men, stealing IDs, even starting fake charities. But what hit me hardest was what she said at the end. She only goes after people who won't fight back. You're the first I've seen go public. Be careful. She's smarter than she looks. That's when I realized this wasn't just revenge anymore. It was a war. And I wasn't backing down. After the break-in, the shoe, the threats, and the phone call to my cousin, I was on high alert. But what I didn't realize was that I had something she hadn't planned for: time. And patience. She had moved fast. Tried to frame me, ruin me, then disappear. But she didn't expect me to keep digging, to stay loud, to keep pressing every lead. Greg was still working on getting the FBI interested. The problem was, Kyla had vanished, again. No activity on her credit cards. Her name wasn't on any rental agreements. It was like she'd gone ghost. But I had read it. And that thread? It was still growing. That's when I got another message. From someone in Tulsa. He said his sister was dating a woman named Crystal Brenner, who had just moved in with her after only a few weeks. She said she sold vintage luxury items online. Always cagey about her past. Always on her phone, talking in code. He sent me a picture. It was her. New hair. Darker. Thinner. But same face. Same damn smirk. I sent the photo to Greg. He reached out to a contact in federal law enforcement. They passed it on. Tulsa PD got involved. Quiet surveillance started. That's when things finally broke open. Turns out Kyla, Crystal, wasn't just hiding. She was building a new operation. Using her girlfriend's garage. Same playbook. Only this time, they caught her mid-shipment. Dozens of stolen goods. A new ledger. Guess what was stamped in the corner? Same triangle. Same MKB. She was arrested in Tulsa 6 weeks after she vanished from Tacoma. I didn't find out until Greg called me, voice shaking with something between shock and satisfaction. They got her. I sat on my porch for an hour after that call. Just sitting. I didn't cry. I didn't cheer. I just breathed. It was over. But not for her. The FBI charged her with interstate fraud, possession of stolen property, and conspiracy to commit mail fraud. They tied her to cases in Oregon, Arizona, Washington, Nevada, and now Oklahoma. Over $200,000 in stolen inventory. Turns out one of the ledgers had enough notes to trace her whole pattern across 5 years. Every person she framed. Every name she used. And that triangle? It wasn't just a symbol. It was her real initials. Marissa Kyla Brenner. She got cocky. That symbol she used to mark her ledgers, that's what buried her. Her lawyer tried to argue mental illness. Said she had trauma, identity issues, blah blah blah. Didn't fly. She took a plea. 7 years federal. No parole. As for me, I went to the sentencing. Sat in the back. She saw me. I didn't say a word. I didn't need to. She looked older. Thinner. No smirk this time. Just empty eyes. She mouthed something as she walked past in cuffs. Why'd you do it? I didn't answer. But I thought it. Because you picked the wrong damn garage. The story hit the local news. Then national. Tacoma man framed by neighbor helps FBI take down multi-state crime ring. The podcast I first sent my story to? They did a whole 3-part series. People still message me. Some victims, some just curious. I talked to some. Ignore others. I went quiet after that. Deleted the Reddit thread. Kept the cameras up. Greg and I sued her in civil court too. I won a $70,000 judgment. I'll probably never see a dime, but that's not the point. I got my life back. I cleared my name. And I watched her lose everything. She made one mistake. She thought I was just some quiet maintenance guy. She didn't know I keep every receipt.